Hey everybody, what's going on? The con is over. It's Monday night. I am wiped out. I'm just going to go ahead and give a quick review of my opinion. It's going to be try to be an open-based opinion. I talked to a lot of vendors that was at the con. The pros and the cons of the con, as far as what people thought, as well as my personal opinion of the VIP that a lot of people weren't very happy with, especially for them to pay that much money for it. Basically, I'll just go over the VIP thing. To a lot of people, I mean, it was with tax, it did cost approximately $250. It's your weekend admission for Saturday and Sunday only. Early entry only for Saturday, was for Saturday. So you got in an hour early for Saturday. That didn't include for Sunday. Some people were kind of upset, but I mean, I did explain, to some people that I said I read it on the website. It was based on just Saturday only. There was a few people that got VIP that was standing in front of me, and I was explaining for Texas Frightmare that it's all 3 days, and you get an hour entry no matter what. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday you get in. And so they were kind of upset that they had to wait in a long line with everybody else, even though they paid the extra money. They knew that they weren't going to get early entry for that. And so they just had to wait in a long line. They felt that they should have waited in a separate line. There was a whole bunch of other doors that, for the convention center where Monsterpalooza is held. There's like a total of like 4 different entrances at that convention. They could have had, they were saying, hey, they should at least have us line up on our own side. Everybody for the other side should do the same thing. And I agreed to that. I said, yeah, they do the same thing for Monsterpalooza sometimes. Like if you get the 3-day pass, they have a special entrance so you don't have to wait. You get your own. It's like, you have one line here and then you have your 3-day pass over here, but everybody pretty much goes into, like, one side will go in one door and the other one goes in the other, but everybody gets in at the same time. A lot of people were upset because they were way in the back around the corner, and they were kind of upset about that situation. Like, well, we should have got our own separate line. They paid extra money. I agreed with that. I said, I fully agree. You go and pay extra. You should get a little bit more of a perk, even though you're waiting in line, but you shouldn't wait with everybody else because it doesn't say, hey, you're waiting with anybody else. Also, for what I read, first shot at limited edition merchandise for Saturday. That a lot of the posters went out. I mean, I guess there was people that stayed overnight, Saturday night, early Sunday, and there was like an after party across the street and people were already lining up. Well, before they opened the doors yesterday, there was this giant announcement that they sold out. So half that line basically got up and left because they couldn't get in, or they were going to purchase it and then they got upset because there was no more left. Priority seating for Q&A, film room, panel. I didn't see any films. There was no films that were presented there. So registration line cut during check-in. I don't know, because I knew that a lot of people were going in that that they had the VIP was going in because they got an hour early. I didn't see any like type of a line cut, because pretty much if you know already registered and stuff, like you're going in and registering, that you had that hour time. So maybe they had an extra table. I didn't see it. You know, photo op line cuts, selected celebrity line cuts, and with that, that's a count, or that has a plural, has cuts. Um, I guess that you get a pass, and it's just one. And some people were really upset because that, you know, there was like long lines for certain celebrities they wanted to get to, but they were saying it was only like for one, and they even, you know, pulled it up on their phone or whatever that they had, and you know, it does say line cuts. Cuts is plural. So they thought it was going to be maybe two or three or something like that. I also explained to the people, and this was all on Sunday when we were talking about this, that, you know, Monster Palooza, or not, or Texas Frightmare, you know, I think it's like up to two to four, maybe three, and you get a look on your wristband, you get a thing that says, hey, you know, here it is, you know, and they go and take it off, and whatever you use. So they thought that was it. I asked them, you know, saying, well, what was it? And they said, you know, they showed me the piece of paper, and I said, yeah, you're only allowed to use it once. And if you're already in line, you go and cut, and that was pretty much it. But uh, it was only like one time use only, and they were kind of upset about that, because it's like, what was the point of just one person? You know, they thought it would be like two or three, or something like that. And I did meet some people that were at Texas Frightmare, because I did recognize them. Um, so some people were pretty ticked off about that, uh, as well. Autograph item from guests not attending. Uh, that was a big one that I really heard. They didn't get anything. They were like really upset and ticked off, because, you know, like I said, the people that was in front of me, that they had the VIPs, so they knew exactly what was happening. They knew what was going on. They didn't receive anything for guests not attending, and they were pissed, because they were like sitting there thinking they were going to get something from John Carpenter or Jamie Lee Curtis, like signings, like pictures or something like that. There was nothing, and they were pissed. They were like, look, you know, we did this, and there's nothing, you know, at least, you know, it says in the small perk, there's nothing there. It's false advertisement. Um, an event T-shirt. Um, for what I saw, that event T-shirt that people were wearing and stuff like that, it's Michael Myers, and it looks like Thanos snapped and he's deflating, and turning to dust. It's pretty cool, and it says Halloween 40 on the bottom and everything. That people got those for free. It's kind of like Texas Frightmare. You get those for free. If not, then you go and pay like $15, $20, you know, for the T-shirt, if you want the event T-shirt. So they got that. VIP exclusive limited edition emerald pin. They did show me that looked kind of cool. It's like the same thing as the T-shirt. So I did snag that one up. It was kind of cool. The people that was in front of me, they said that I was like, seemed pretty cool. Took a whole bunch of pictures as me as a cosplay and stuff, and they gave me the pins, and it was pretty cool. I thought that was legit. Um, Let me see. An event poster that also, it was exactly like the T-shirt. They were kind of, I don't know if they were on the same table as the thing. I think they could have probably had a like a special, like if you paid $20, 25 bucks, I believe, or something. I believe it's something like that. It was like 25 bucks. You got the poster, and then you got the T-shirt. Um, People were pissed about that, because they're like, look, this is only a $25 like thing, like whoopee. You know, who, what am I getting? 25, you know, off a T-shirt and a poster, because they thought that they were going to be receiving stuff that the general public wouldn't receive. Like, I got this poster, it's limited, I paid extra. It's like 50, like if you got the weekend pass, it's $50. So they pay $200 more just for that. For the same stuff that they could have bought, for $25. Like, oh, here's the poster, here's this, $25. Thank you, gone. Yeah, they were pretty ticked off about that because I even saw the T-shirts. It was way on the end, and they were pretty mad. They were really really upset about that. Um, and let me see, a VIP exclusive event badge and lanyard. They showed me the badge. All it is kind of like like Halloween Horror Nights. Like, you get the little VIP badge, and it's about like that big, and it's the same thing as the poster and the T-shirt that you get. And then on the back, it has like the scheduling of stuff, and that was it. And as far as like the lanyard goes, for what they showed me, is that it's only an orange regular small lanyard that you can probably get like at Walmart for, giant like case of, like at Walmart for like $5. Nothing special on it. Nothing that said anything on it. At least when, I mentioned to them that at least when you go to Universal Studios or something like that, and if you get the Rest in Peace or something like that, you get this big, like, cool looking lanyard or something that, well, they don't, I don't think they do anymore. When I went a couple of times, they gave like the big lanyards that was for like $5-6 or $10. They would give you those, and those were awesome. And so it was just like a small little thing. And they also, so they thought that was kind of, they thought it was kind of cheap because it was like thin, it's like yellow, it's orange, and they were kind of like, well, this was a waste as well. Guaranteed access into the Saturday night after party event. That event, I believe, if I remember correctly, to get in was only $10. If you went, $10. Guaranteed access to an after party event. First chance to purchase an extra limited edition add-on package, including the holograms. So it's like if you wanted to go see all the, which it was the Halloween locations. The bus would take you to it. That was an additional $100 if you did that. And then they had drinks with Tom Atkins, which I think was like $75 in the bar that he was drinking in Halloween 3. Additional surprise perks to be announced. And I went to the Halloween 2018 panel. For what I known is that a couple, that they were like, they had the panel of the 2018 cast and everything. So basic is, they had James Jude Courtney, David Gordon Green, Ryan Reese, I want to say, from the new movie, Chris Nelson, Vincent Van Dyke, I believe was there, Sean White, I believe was there, Ryan Turek was there as well. So I'll put that on a separate one because I recorded the whole convention and everything. So I guess what happened is that the first, I want to say maybe 25 people, because I was hanging with some people and I didn't want to leave, and I was finishing my conversation up, so I didn't really care, or anything about, here's the poster or whatever. And so I was like waiting, and about like 25 people, got there, and the James Jude Courtney, and he had a photo op, so they said, oh, he's going to be back for a photo op. So he signed maybe like 15 people, I want to say, if that, and he never came back, and people were like waiting for him to come back, and he was at his table. And for Ryan Reese, the lady who plays in the movie that, it's in a bathroom stall and she's shaking, she was also at the con. I posted pictures with both of them and me in as my Myers cosplay. So that that part, both of them took off, and a lot of people were pissed because there was probably maybe 25, 30 people that maybe got autographs from them, and that was it. So they got lucky. They got lucky with all of them. Like I want to say there was and then also on that panel was what was it? I'm trying to look. Hang on, real quick. I just passed it. Oh my gosh. Musik Akkad was there as well, and so that they, he was there, and the rest of them. So I guess those two left, and everybody got mad because everybody else got the signing. They didn't. They weren't coming back, and a lot of people, I guess that. Some of the workers that were working there were saying that oh, they're going to come back, you'll get yours, don't worry, and they never came back because they had obligations. For what I heard, what somebody told me, like through the grapevine on Sunday or something like that, that some people tried to go back to their tables to try to do it, and that they were going to charge them for it, and they didn't. So that was the end of that, and they were kind of like fed up. So luckily when I was like staying there, I thought it was like kind of cool because when I was like talking to some people, there was a lot of East Coast. There was a Philadelphia, people from England, Canada, Florida, and stuff like that. So I was talking to some people that I saw at the earlier in the day and stuff like that, and they were like talking. It's like, oh no, I'm leaving, and here, go ahead and take my stuff. And they just gave, because they were fed up. They were like literally ticked off that they didn't get what the beginning of the group got, and that they got their little privilege, but everybody else didn't, and they were pretty upset. So at that point, that ends that part of the guest type thing. I talked to several vendors. A lot of the vendors were not happy with the situation as far as the table price, and I see these vendors at Monsterpalooza, Son of Monsterpalooza, Midsummer Scream. So I see them, I say hi, I recognize you, and they recognize me. And they weren't happy because I don't think that they felt that they were making that they were going to break even, and they said that the table was a fair lot of money, a little bit more than Monsterpalooza, I believe. And so I kind of like felt bad because I saw some vendors that nobody was even at some of these people's tables. Like I would walk back and forth all day, and I probably saw maybe some couple of people, and they would just like walk by, and that was it. Mostly the people they were at Mondo, they were at Fright Rags, and the local businesses like on the East Coast that you would go and see if you went to a Horror Hound on the East Coast, which I believe that they're mostly based. Yeah, it's a lot. Some people were kind of rolling their eyes. In fact, I think like 2 or 3 vendors, like when I was leaving, I left about 3:30 or so, and they were already packing up, and I believe the con was ending at 5. So they were bailing out about 2 hours before, because I don't think that they were doing anything, and they said, just go ahead and pack up and leave, unless they had other obligations or something like that. But they didn't look very happy, and that's my opinion as far as being a guest and walking around. And some people were probably, they were saying that they were expecting more from it, but I looked at it as far, it's a signing. You're there strictly for straight Halloween. If you go there for Monsterpalooza or anything like that, yeah, you're being spoiled because the place is just packed. I mean, it's huge. So, and then plus there was no, Kane Hodder, no Robert England, no, big name. This is just straight diehard Halloween fans celebrating 40 years of terror, as they say. Somebody asked me, what was, my overall grade on the situation. Um, I had fun. I had fun. Normally, I always have fun cosplaying. I have fun, walking around, interacting with everybody that's there. Um, the excitement, talking to people, and getting the knowledge into the Halloween type thing. But I give it a C. It's even. I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't. I enjoyed myself, but I didn't hate it. It was a lot of fun showing up, but I mean, if you showed up for one day, and if you weren't into the autographs and going and seeing all these same people and stuff like that, you could have probably done it in one day and got the autographs from everybody. But they switched off. Like, several people were only going to show up on Saturday, and then some people were going to be on Sunday. Just your typical con type thing. A lot of people do it. Monsterpalooza, Texas Frightmare, and stuff. So, yeah, it was cool. It was different. It was nice. There was a lot of Michael cosplayers. Not as much as I thought there was going to be. Saturday, I probably saw maybe a total of maybe 10 to 12 of them. Sunday was probably about the same. So I was expecting tons more. But yeah, that's about it. That's my review of the whole situation. It's just an open mind for what I saw. It's not a knack on anything or stuff. It's just for what I heard, the complaints that I heard, going to and just having fun, and it's one of those things that was kind of cool. So uh, after that, all right. Well, till the next video, we'll see.